I think it's now time for everyone to acknowledge that some folks find tremendous amounts of power in framing themselves as victims in every situation. You feel what I'm saying? And this is no different. He saw it as a potential career advancement to have a hate crime committed against him. And so he had to fake one to advance it for himself. Think about that psychology. That means that victim status is so powerful that motherfuckers will try to lie to cops and the FBI to advance their career.
So I want to start this off by saying I don't want anyone to think that I'm using Abba's words out of context. A lot of what he says in this video falls in line with many of the things that I've said in the past covering certain topics, right? But we'll get into that later. What I want to do now is just talk about the fact that many people manipulate information for their own personal gain, and as he said, the victim status is a fucking powerful thing. Now, in the past I've said fake victims should be dealt with accordingly, and I'm so happy to see that he brought out a video pretty much saying the exact same thing, right? I have zero sympathy for someone who pretends to be a victim just to damage, destroy, or bury someone else because of their career or financial gain. That is one of the most disgusting things you can do, and I 100,000% agree that you should face the charges plus, let's say, an additional 2 to 3 years for trying to incriminate someone innocent. For example, if you take a look at Johnny Depp and that dumb bitch Amber, you could see that this is pretty much what he's talking about. People really want to believe victims. Like when she first came out and she claimed that he was an abusive person, he was always physically abusing her under the influence of drugs and alcohol, everyone kind of just flocked to her side to the point where he lost contracts, deals, and I'm assuming millions of dollars. Then the evidence actually came out. There's recordings of her being the actual abusive one. She did things like toss stuff at him, and I think he even lost the tip of one of his fingers in an altercation with her. It's pretty obvious that we live in a time now where we really want to believe victims. But what I'm saying is the fake ones, the ones that try to use that to manipulate people onto their side just to bury this person. In her case, I'm assuming it was financial gain she was looking for, that and status. Because imagine how much more famous she would have been if she actually was successful in putting Johnny Depp away. Like, she would have been the person to, you know, be the survivor, and I'm pretty sure she would have written books and be on talk shows and all of this bullshit. That's just the reality, and what I tell people is it's always best to wait for more information to come out. Like, even recently, the Sun Hat Kid came out and accused Danny Duncan of being pretty much a psychopath. But Danny actually had his receipts. He came out with a recording of the Sun Hat Kid blatantly admitting to lying and creating drama on YouTube for views. So this goes full circle into what I wanted to talk about, right? Fake victims exist. I'm not saying real victims don't, but fake ones definitely do. And the thing that pisses me off is a lot of the times they walk away without any type of ramifications for their actions, right? And exactly as Abba said, there's no proper deterrent. There's nothing that's going to pretty much stop them from wanting to come up with a scheme like this, unless the individual is willing to take them to court for defamation of character or something like that afterwards, right? But in most cases, bro, it just doesn't happen, and that's why I think a lot of people do it. I think a lot of people are willing to go to lengths to try and slander or even incriminate someone else because they kind of know that maybe if I get caught lying, I could just make an apology video and kind of get on with my life, right? And it's just fucking bullshit, man, right? Imagine someone just strolls up to your door, ruins your life, right? And then goes on about their business like it's just another Tuesday.
My name is Gregory Counts, and I've been in prison for 26 years. I was charged for rape in the first degree sodomy the second, and kidnapping. And during that time, I just always maintained my innocence all that time.
And the most messed up part is that even if there is video evidence of your innocence, that label is still gonna stick with you. Let's say you were accused of being a rapist, that is gonna stick with you for years, even if you're innocent. And I think the reason for that is because the people who did the accusations aren't being punished. I think it's because they are still walking around. There's no one to look at to see who is at fault, so that's gonna make people be like, well, maybe it was true.
DNA evidence proved that I was innocent of the crime. And then later on, they questioned the victim. The victim just blatantly tell the truth. I made the whole story up. It was a lie.
So you're still gonna be hearing like stories with your name in it, or people are gonna call you some type of monster on social media even though you've been proven innocent. It's obviously messed up, but I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this type of situation. Have you ever been wrongfully accused and had to watch the person who did it just go on about their lives like nothing happened? Because let's be honest, let's say you were labeled a thief or a wife beater or a rapist. Those labels are far worse than being labeled a liar. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about this, what I had to say in this video. Things like this really do bother me because, as I said, I've been wrongfully accused in the past, right? I'd really like to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment below. If you all have any video requests or topics that you want to hear me talk about, leave that down below as well. Like and subscribe because we have crossed 300,000 views on this channel but can't seem to cross 1,000 subs. And I'm starting to feel a bit offended.
You just hate me because I'm black. You don't.
Anyway, y'all subscribe and most importantly, have a great fucking day. Later.
And I'm glad that folks are starting to open their eyes to the reality. Like, yo, this is a real thing. People do lie and they don't need to make sense. People will lie for the most frivolous things and they'll fuck up your life. Right? So just remember that. And yeah, as far as Juicy goes, good, man. Good. And anybody else who fakes some shit like that, who makes up these false allegations, good. They should also be dealt with. You get zero sympathy from me. If you're going to tell a lie and put other people at risk, I hope you end up in jail.